Welcome, beautiful soul stars. I am coming to you with our energy update for August 17th through the 23rd. I first would like to start out by sharing with everybody that if you are going back over old grounds, if you are having things surface within you that you have, thought you've healed and they are resurfacing, please do not judge yourself. We are currently, I do believe, at 6 or 7 planets retrograde, and so that retrograde energy has many of us just going deep into the subconscious, and some things that you're already aware of that you carry the emotional baggage and trauma with you on a daily basis. And the assistance of these retrograde planets pushing us inner is significant because we want to keep releasing any of these things, facing these things, so that we can go forward with less of the baggage. I just want to share an intimate moment with you that it is the 17th of August today that I'm coming to you for this energy update. And on a personal level for me, the grief, I've been crying my eyes out already this morning. I went to bed last night in communion with the Holy Spirit to assist me as I'm feeling all of these deep feelings and emotions of grief for the loss of my son. And many of the things that the collective right now is having come back up to release is abandonment and betrayal. And so with that in my awareness, I'm talking to the Holy Spirit in my mind's eye, and I'm like, I've came far. The betrayal and the abandonment is something that is lighter for me today, but the one thing that is constant that I just don't know how to integrate in my daily life is the grief of the loss of my son. And so I wanted to share that with you guys because with the retrograde planets, many of us are going back over all of these things that we've gained lifetime after lifetime, and it is really beneficial for all of us to feel it, to cry it out, and really allow those things to surface within us and do breath work or whatever it is that you use and face all those things, because it just keeps helping us lighten the load that we carry. So I dried my eyes and I'm like, they're getting me real and raw today, and that is just the way that I appreciate it. And everything in the world has supported lies, deception, and I want to highlight on this real quick because the Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn that are all in Capricorn, right? The structured sign of government, religion, anything of authority, whether it be schooling or whatever, all these indoctrined belief systems are obviously on the collective scale. We're watching that all fall apart, and it's a shit show. These aren't new things. These were things that were always hidden. And I think the betrayal and abandonment actually goes right back to the indoctrined belief system that we're small and that our light doesn't matter. And so I would like to share a little bit of inspiration with you, firstly from Jesus Calling, which Yeshua is one of my beautiful guides as an ascended master. Personally, for me, if you're new today, I do not relate any of the ascended masters to a religion. I believe wholeheartedly in my heart that religion was made to conquer, divide, and really take our own sovereign authority away from us and put it outside of us. So I would like to share this real quick before I go on. It's just inspirational, and it helped me this morning as I woke up with a heavy heart, right? Find me in the midst of maelstrom. Sometimes events swirl around you so quickly that they become a blur. Whisper my name in recognition that I am still with you. Without skipping a beat in the activities that occupy you, you find strength and peace through praying my name. Later, when things happen, when the happenings have run their course, you can talk with me more fully. Accept each day just as it comes to you. Do not waste your time and energy wishing for a different set of circumstances. Instead, trust me enough to yield to my design and purposes. Remember that nothing can separate you from my loving presence. You are mine. That hit me right in the heart space this morning. Because like I said, and many of you are going to be experiencing this too, that a lot of things that you thought you may have healed are coming back up again to the surface. And the one thing that I can't seem to overcome is the feeling of loss of my child. And I just have to keep taking the high road and the higher perspective and being freaking courageous to face every present moment. And so how this resonates in your life is, I'm sure that there's things coming up within you as well that you're like, I've already looked at this and it's coming up. What the hell? I'm here to remind you not to judge yourself, to stay present in the moment and surrender. I was just talking to a beautiful sister of mine this morning briefly. Surrender's been huge for me, to just breathe deep into the belly and accept things as they are and keep taking that higher perspective and being courageous. Okay, so how that is coming up right now is the new moon in Leo that is happening Tuesday the 18th, which is tomorrow, at 10:42 Eastern Standard Time. And so the new moons are a time of planting a new seed, and with it being Leo, right, represented by the sun always shines, right? The sun is there always. And so how this relates to your inner is that your inner light, your endless eternal light, is always within you, and it's a matter of going within and finding those small bits of things within you that spark a fiery energy, right? Like with Leo, of what makes you come alive and what brings you passion. Because the light there, like the sun in Leo, like the eternal light within us, is always there. It's just we have to sometimes dive deep in order to nurture ourselves, empower ourselves, and that's a part of reeling back in the energy of the control factor that has been there, that's being dismantled in Capricorn as we speak, is reeling back in your life force energy, understanding that you're a powerful sovereign being and not allowing anybody outside of you to tell you any different or to dim your light. We're seeing a lot of projection on the big screen, which is everything is ass backwards to what we've ever been told or taught. And so there's this dismantling going on of where they're not wanting you to step into your full power, right? To allow that heart space to come forward, to be courageous. And it's happening, on the collective stage. So right now, as we're going into this new moon, 26 degrees of Leo, think about that to plant your new seed going forward, because the opposite sign of Leo is Aquarius. And later on, as we progress, Saturn and other planets will move into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, which is known as being the golden years. So at the time of this new moon, we have Mercury, the sun, and the moon. The moon, this is what causes the dark moon, the new moon, is the sun and the moon are right there. So we're getting this reflective energy of the Aquarian age going forward. It's caused this dark time in the soil, right, is time of planting new seeds. So think about what it is within you that really sparks a creative energy and your life force energy, and plant that seed now. We're already in the energy of it anyway, and going forward. And what I'm finding right now with Mercury still in Leo with this new moon energy is that we are finding that communications are becoming more enriched. They're becoming more with substance, talking about, communicating with other like-minded people about things that really matter instead of superficial shit. And so I just really wanted to highlight that with Mercury still being in Leo with this new moon, is that if we're in our authenticity and we're starting to connect, even no matter how small it is, with other like-minded people, communication with other people is becoming more deep and more enriched. And of course, there's always a polarity. On the other side of that, with Mars squaring Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, there's a lot of people still with that South Node Sagittarius that are not willing, even though facts presented to them, to change their belief system. They're so indoctrined, and I believe that's more of the younger souls, because the old souls are feeling the deception that's playing out. We've all felt it before, but it's now being revealed. And so when you do your own research, which I believe was the pause, the supreme divine purpose of this pause was to put everybody inner and to reevaluate what really your authenticity is, whether it be your belief systems. Mine have changed. I'm open, and I'm so thankful that I am open, because it's a freedom to be able to have information presented through your own research, through your own free thinking, not what you're indoctrined to believe and think and feel on a collective stage. I mean, it's just on, and it's very taxing and exhausting to witness all of the deception in your eyes, right? It's always been there, but to witness it playing out and you're like wanting to scream from the rooftops, that is freaking false. That's deceptive. And no matter what the information is that you present to others, some people are not willing to see it. That's cognitive dissonance, and that's huge. It's happening on a micro level, and then we have this huge collective energy that is happening on the macro. So whatever your inner things that you've been facing, and I give you kudos, that's being courageous with that Mars energy in harmony of being able to take some action, research for yourself, and be courageous. And that courageous energy is coming up huge with the new moon in Leo, being Leo season. It's really a time with this new moon, the sun, the moon, and Mercury, to merge our mind thinking with our heart. And that's what brings you into your authenticity. It's a beautiful thing. On a superficial level, on the earth plane, it's intense, because you go, wait a minute, I was always taught this, and this is what my belief system was built on, and it's a fucking lie. And so there's a lot of dismantling going on, and we're going to continue to see that, because the truth is the way, and truth never needs defending. And so let me bring this back to all of the censorship, right? Every time I cry, I get drainage. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm not a edit channel. I just do it real. Okay, let me regroup here. It's almost like we're waking up to it, and it's like, have I been frickin' punked? And basically, yes. And it was all for that control structure of people wanting to take your life force energy, right? Think about it on a personal level. We've been in codependent relationships, whether it be with family, friends, lovers, and now we're getting more into our authentic self. And really what's happening is losing the superficial love and merging our minds with our heart and our authenticity to have a more sustainable, lasting love for ourselves and others. And when you look around, you go, how many people hold space for you right where you're at? Not many. And so it's really about this impasse of the way things were to the way that things are going to be. And I think that's huge, planting that seed with this new moon in Leo going forward. Like I said, because the opposite sign is Aquarius. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, And I do believe later this year, Saturn and Pluto will move out of Capricorn into Aquarius, and then later on down the line, Pluto will also do that. So it's all a preparation. I trust the divine, and the beautiful part about it is the God creator, the great spirit. There are no accidents or coincidences. So keep finding the merging the thinking with the heart, and going forward in your truth, because it will never steer you wrong. Mercury will move into its home sign, into Virgo, on Saturday the 22nd. And so many of us will start thinking about the day-to-day, thinking about ways that we can be insightful. And because Mercury is exalted, meaning it's a home sign of Virgo, this can really come into harmony and fruition of the Virgo energy for all of us, whether you're Virgo or not. So happy solar return to you, Virgos. I'm a Virgo sun myself. Our home sign, or our planet, will be exalted in its home sign here on the 22nd. So what this will mean for the collective is many of us will start with that new moon energy being planted. We can take and merge our thinking freely. I'm encouraging that huge right now, because there is a push-pull of people trying to keep us from being in our authentic self. I know it's freaking barbaric and crazy as it sounds, it is. So Virgo energy, exalted there, being analytical, analyzing things from a heart-centered space, also with your thinking, being insightful, being creative on new ways to be able to communicate with other people, or whether it be through writing or just communication, or teaching other people holistic ways of viewing things and healing themselves. So I just love that Virgo energy coming into fruition for all of us, whether you're a Virgo or not. So just keep that in mind. The fire element is dominant right now, so many of us may be feeling this courageous energy going forward of like, we have been through the ringer. I know that I feel that because of exhaustion and whatnot. It's like, holy shit. But I believe my spiritual awakening happened right when it was supposed to. If you're already on the path yourself, trust that divine process. Anything else I would like to share? Shine. Here we go. There's the word for you. This Leo energy is asking you, just like the sun, to find your life force energy, to find your fire within you, that light within you that never dies. Whether we leave our vessel or not, merge your thinking with that beautiful flame of yours, that sacred flame of yours, and really plant the seed with this new moon, because we want it to be sustainable in our everyday life, like Virgo, paying attention to finding the small moments in the day-to-day that are miraculous. That's another Virgo energy, is being able to find those miraculous blessings in the day-to-day life. Anything else? See, I'm at 18 minutes now, and for some reason I get cut off sometimes. There might be a two-part to this. I don't know. We'll see, because there's so much going on, as we know. So the inner planets, the fire element is dominant. The fixed mode is also dominant amongst the inner planets. So this may be feeling rough for you guys. Fixed earth is rough. My moon sign is Taurus, so just keep trusting the divine process. And like I always encourage everybody, is just be your authentic self. Don't allow people to project upon you right now, because that's happening on a collective scale big time. Reel back in your life force energy. Don't waste your time trying to convince other people, especially if you present something to them and they won't even look at it. Or they start gaslighting you, or thinking that you're being argumentative to them, although you're just wanting to present a different perspective to them, because the North Node is in Gemini, the South Node is in Sagittarius. So South Node in Sagittarius is people's belief systems, which are getting ready to get rocked and blocked, pretty sure, on a collective scale of what's unfolding. And then the North Node is in Gemini. So that North Node in Gemini, to me, feels like the energy of how can we create small community through communication, through bartering, through having something that's actually sustainable, and being not only a teacher, but also a student, right? Everybody teaches me something, whether it's a lesson or a blessing. So we'll do some Mystical Shaman Oracle for this. And I already said my prayers and set my intention before I came on. So what is it that will go along with this beautiful message? Again, happy solar return to you, Virgos. I'm a Virgo myself. And I lost my beautiful empath firstborn child, my only son, in my same birth month. So that is some deep affliction that's within me that I just keep talking to Creator about it, going, how the fuck do I heal this? It's like I said, everybody's got their shit, but facing it and being real, connecting and communion with the Holy Spirit is so important, because it doesn't matter. Don't judge yourself, because you're not going to be judged by the Creator. Neither. That was another fucking lie. All meant. Okay, lightning. That is total Uranus. This is quick change. Lightning to me can represent your sovereign light for life and light, like I was saying, but it also can be some quick changes. Now, as Uranus just went retrograde, you guys, and it is in the fixed sign of Taurus. So just expect the unexpected, because that to me is a huge Uranus type of energy. But at the same time, this light, allowing this light to be illuminated within you, and how you do that is being your most authentic self, no matter what anybody outside of you says, right? We will keep expecting, we will continue to see, with all that energy in Capricorn being dismantled, a lot of changes, a lot of quick change, and that is that very Uranus energy in the fixed earth sign. And so this could be quick changes within your body. This could be earth changes, whether it be storms, whether it be movement, whether this be earthquakes, whether this be fire. That's something coming up as well, with the fire energy being dominant. You know, just quick change. And we got this card last week, the Journey. So 9 plus 2 is 11, and 11 is a shift. We are in a shift. Hands over the heart, merging the mind, like I said, with Mercury, with this new moon energy, merging the mind, the thoughts, with your heart chakra, with your heart space, the truth, the way. And how we do that is calming that egoic mind, getting in harmony with our mind and our hearts, and that's where we gain knowledge, that's where we gain wisdom, and it's an inner knowledge within you. Taking that journey inward, which is huge. What did I say? We got 7 planets retrograde, plus Mars will go retrograde in the beginning part of September. So this is a huge time to be courageous. Don't ignore any of the thoughts that come up within you. Like I said, I had a hard time getting up and being in gratitude this morning because I ache. It's 1 month away from 6 years that I lost my beautiful child. And because it is such a deep loss and a heavy loss, I look around and it's like there's fucking nobody there, because they weren't willing to sit in the space with me, whether I was crying, whether I was finding gratitude. And it really did push me inner, to merge my thinking and my heart, to take that journey inward and connect and commune with the Holy Spirit. And that is truly where we gain our wisdom. It's not what people project on the outside for you, for me. It is what we feel And do not allow anybody, do not allow anybody to gaslight you. That is happening. Listen, I went through it on a personal level. Now it's happening on the macro. Projections are people pointing outwards when they need to be pointing inwards. And old souls basically know that. But somebody that's in that egoic mind finds fault in others, finds mistrust in others because they haven't went inner enough to fuel that beautiful life force energy, to trust themselves, to trust the divine. And if you're a sensitive that's tuned into my channel, you gotta get in the truth and the way in your heart and merge that thinking with your heart space, because when you take that inner journey, you find your authentic self. That puts you in a shift and awakening. And let's be honest, the dark night of the soul is not freaking pretty. So for anybody that's tuned in, where you feel like everything in your life is falling apart, know that on the other side of that, hang tight, stay with us. Try to find gratitude in all of that, because if people fall out of your life, it wasn't authentic in the first place. And merging the mind and the heart like that, and getting into your authentic self, real and raw. You guys most of the time see me on my good moments, but when I turn the camera off or before I come on camera, it's not. It's real. It's PTSD and emotional baggage and trauma, or trying to release it layer upon layer. Don't be surprised and don't beat yourself up if you have a lot of that coming up right now. But I'll tell you this, with this Leo new moon, plant your seed of your authenticity, of that sun that never fails us, right? Within you, as above, so below. Trust your light. Know that you're beautiful. Know that you're sovereign, that you're needed here, and that it's actually a blessing that we're all here, these light workers, way showers. Because this planet needs more of that. When conversations become more real and raw like this, there's an enrichment. It's a blessing to stop talking about superficial things of, I got the latest new car and I got this house and I got this and I got that, to start talking about things that are real. What makes us tick, what excites us, what brings us peace and joy, and what gives us passion. So set that intention, and I send this to you guys with so much love. Namaste.